Okay,
Good
Eric.
morning, everyone. Eric Rogers here, and today's Friday, August 19th. We made it. How are you doing with your goals that you set on Monday? Did you hit your, it's one thing to set a goal, the other thing is to hit it or at least make progress towards that goal. So every one of you each week should at least be getting two proposals to your national sales directors, and we'll take it from there. We're going to help you. We've got some old veterans out there that are doing very well, and guys, we're here for you. So what I'd like to do, I know we're a few minutes after the bell here. Scott Tash has some things to do. He was here, rolled out of our media room and left the door wide open. He lives in a barn, so we had to shut the door there. So we're all good. You've got a great show today. It's Testimonial Friday. We have a RAM you can see. I just want to make sure that I am rotating screens. There you go. Dr. Watson, he's on here today. You guys should be able to see our little meme. Jerry, you got it? I kind of held that until the last minute. And folks, we've got a good show today. And this is a gentleman, Travis Price, is a NSD, National Sales Director, that Jerry is working with today. And we've got a couple questions, but I want to introduce Jerry Watson from the High Country over in Denver, Colorado. I used to live in the area myself, and I know he's a big Bronco fan. You guys, you got your rings. It's all good. Spread the wealth around. It's time for the Arizona Cardinals to get theirs, right? Wearing red today, not for the Cardinals, but Gary Thrine. We've got some ex-military with us today, and Friday, out of respect for the military, I'm trying to do my best to wear some red on Fridays, guys, just to represent. So without further ado, introductions should only take 30 seconds to 2 minutes. The man of the hour, Jerry Watson. Just go ahead and let everybody, introduce yourself, because we've got other regional account managers here. We've got sales associates, and what's working for you? Kind of give me your numbers, where you're at, when you started, so you can share that with the field.
All right. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, gang. I'll probably just best thing to do is to start where I started. I got involved with the company. I think it was on Thursday or Friday of last week. Watched all the training videos that I could, the different modules, and what I did that helped me tremendously was the list of 1,000. I started going through that, checking off the companies that I thought would work for me, and lo and behold, it came up with a lot more than I thought I would. But anyway, I had a good start. I have a good friend that's in the restaurant business. So I met him Saturday and talked to him, said, here's what I'm doing, and I need your help. Actually, I need your direction. Here's the company I work for. Here's the deal they have. And, how can you help me on that? He not only said, well, they got 3 new restaurants. He's one of the partners in there. And he immediately got on his phone and contacted one of his partners and said, I need a statement sent to Jerry Watson so that we can find out what we can do with our merchant processing phase. So I was very fortunate that I got started with a personal friend that's helping me out. Now, after all that was said and done, I said, well, gosh, this is pretty easy. Well, I found out differently starting Monday. I said, well, there's only one way I'm going to be successful at this, and that's to get out there and find out what I'm going to run into and how I'm going to handle objections. And I must say, Eric, that the training that Steve does and you is phenomenal. I've been in a lot of organizations, and this is the best that I've seen so far. And I don't plan to look anymore. How's that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I started out and I thought, well, all right, I don't have business cards. I don't have anything yet. So I went online. I actually copied and pasted the PDFs on the flyer. Now, I don't know how to do front and back on it. So I did the front, did the back, and I stapled it together. So that was my sales tool that I used going out to call on accounts. And the difficult thing was one of them said, okay, fine, leave it with me. I said, I can't. It's the only copy I got. She said, I'll make a copy. So she went back because it's a dental office, and they have the orthodontist and another doctor there. So they had 2 different divisions, if you will. but I thought that was kind of neat. She said, I'll make a copy and I'll staple it back for you. So that was my sales tool that I went out with. And Eric, thank God I got some nice flyers in now, business cards, because on the flyer it doesn't say how to reach me. So
Yep.
I had some other business. I said, look, here's my phone number. Here's how you can get in touch with me. So that was my first start on Monday. I said, I'm going out and find out. So I dropped off like 3, and I expect to get statements from at least 2 of those, hopefully this next week, because I want to meet my goal. My goal that I set for me was to have double what you're looking for, the 2 for 2. And I hope to be beyond that. You had another gentleman on, I think last week, that had gotten 8 statements. So my original goal was to beat him. And I still got a chance. I'm not finished yet. So anyway, a good start, got out in the field. I learned again that you got to learn how to handle rejection. Because everyone you talk to out there, oh, gee, I just signed a contract. Well, Eric, I'm sure everybody's heard the same thing I have, so I won't go into that. But I said, that's not going to stop me. So I was fortunate to drop a few off. The interesting thing that I just came across too, Eric, was that I went into a company that has these convenience stores with gas pumps. Because I thought, wow, I know when I get gas, I use my card, my credit card, and boy, that thing is full all the time over there. Anyway, when I met, they own about 10 of them here in Denver. They're up in Evergreen where I am, Eric. And I said, Scott, I need some help here, buddy. I said, you know, I've started with this new company, my same old pitch. I just started, but I need your help. And again, I didn't have I just got my new flyers, I guess. So he said, what are you looking for? And I told him, he said, I'm obligated by contract with Conoco. I can't put my stores with you. Well, while I was talking to him, his brother across the hall said, Jerry, what do you got? And I told him, he said, will that work for car washes? And I said, I don't know. I'll call my director and find out. So I called Travis, who I might say, guys, use your sales director, your national sales director. Travis is phenomenal. So I said, Travis, can we do this? And he said, yeah, we can. So I got 2 weeks. I got to go back to him. He wants to change. So that was another little success story out of the blue, something different than what I thought I'd get. And then I just went to another gentleman. I didn't even think that they would take credit cards. It's a construction company, remodeling, painting, things like that. He happens to be a friend and lives a couple of blocks down from me. So anyway, I got with him. I got my first statement in. Travis, we got a proposal back. I met with him yesterday, and I'm picking up his application today. So it's been a good start. I'd like to have it go even better. But, you know, I'll take it as it comes. But I guess my joke to everybody else is don't give up. I've been in a lot of sales deals, and residuals is what a salesman's dream. And, you know, just don't give up. Get out there. Don't be afraid of it. I'm not good at handling rejection, but I'm learning. So that's probably the best story I got. I could give one lead example, Eric, if you'd like for me to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was just going to ask you, give us a couple of other stories. I love the stories to kind of let everybody know it's going to be case by case, and that's going to happen. That's the nature of the game.
It is. You guys are totally correct. But one thing that I just did is that I start working with associations, member associations, and I picked the ones that I know have used for merchant credit card processing. Now, with them, I approach them, Eric, as I have a member benefit that's going to be very interesting to you. And here's what it is. You can show a benefit to your members, and it'll help you with your recruitment as well as your retention rates. That's it too, because I've worked with associations before. And to me, and I think Travis, so I told him, I'm tied in with one that is the massage therapist, skin care, hair care, 92,000 members. Now, this is something I get very excited about. So I'm talking to Travis about, I'm getting ready to structure an ad. I'm going to advertise with them. And maybe it's not cheap, but I like the exposure factor. You don't need to do that all the time. I just get in. I got the Colorado Chiropractic Association. I went over to my chiropractor and left him a flyer on it as well. So I think that's kind of like looking for the whale, if you will, Eric. I don't think that's going to take some time, and I don't have the time. I'll get it started and I'll let it work its course. But I'm going to be out there on the street going after these individual accounts, just like I did this week. But now I got some good sales tools. So thank you guys for that. Gee, I think that's about it is today. I hope sometime to have a lot more statements in, which I will next week. So anything else I can share with you?
Yeah, you know, I was going to just point out some things as you were going through your part of the participation here today, which we, again, thank you so much. Guys, if you notice, didn't wait around. Did you watch all of the videos? Did you make it through everything to where you felt comfortable to understand? Or did you take the advice of the very first let me go ahead and go back to the very first quick start. There it is, new associate quick start overview. Did you take that to heart and say, you know what, let's go out there right now and work off of that 1,000 contact list?
I did, and I think it helped me quite a bit because I said, here's how you do it. And I followed that, Eric. I didn't let it stop me. As I told you, I actually printed my own flyer and stapled it together to go out. So, yeah, very informative. Scott does a great job, and I'm just enjoying the whole thing, Eric.
Yeah. See, that's the whole thing because, you know, he's up in the high country, beautiful area up there. I know that you're fairly established from talking with you yesterday, and he's got a great understanding, Jerry does, Dr. Watson, that it's his boat. You're not going to miss the only way you miss the boat is, you know, by not getting out there, you know, setting a goal. You know, we go over that all the time, but at least you're going to gravitate toward something. It's when you're stationary and you're not out there, because it's picking up, and this is how it always works. It may not be the person that you actually are calling on that gives you the business. It could be somebody on an airplane right next to you as you're flying somewhere else. It could be somebody that's just overhearing that the time is now for them. And guys, even if they, and Jerry, I know Travis has kind of hit on this too, if they've just signed a contract, we can still get a merchant statement, and then we've got numbers to work off of. Then we can, you know, if you've got an early termination fee, then we can go ahead and say, well, we're saving you $300 a month. Your termination fee is $250. Let's work something out. If it's a large account, case by case, your NSD will go ahead and we'll figure out if it makes sense or not. We're business people. You know, I know the underwriting part of this is pretty cut and dry, but we've got room over here case by case. This is why you're not out there quoting rates, because we don't know what they have. You know, for example, I had a regional account manager submit one where the rate was 0, but the per transaction was 20 cents a transaction. So the banks are great at this. They're over here saying your rate's 0. Have somebody try to beat your rate. They're over here taking 20 cents a transaction, knowing that business does thousands of transactions. Still getting their money. They're reaching right around and grabbing it out of your wallet. So this is what we can show with a detailed, transparent proposal, and then time is of the essence. And this is something that, Jerry, we want to make sure that you are, you know, covering all your bases, and that is exactly what he's doing. He's leveraging Travis, his NSD, and he's out there getting the business, and the more people you talk to, the more money you'll make. This is a true numbers game, right, Jerry?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it really is, and I've never seen one better, and this is something that, you know, residual income, Jerry, you may want to expand on that, because I know you've been in, I think, real estate. I think we talked about that yesterday. Maybe let's reinforce why everybody's here.
Okay, well, the thing, and having been in sales, Eric, for years, It's
Hmm.
a lot of the times you go out and you sell a product, you got to go sell another one and another one and another one. If you're successful in getting a merchant that's going to keep processing that residual income is a dream, guys and gals. Believe me, it is. And that's one thing that really attracted me to your organization, Eric, to be honest with you. So I was looking for an organization that had a good product, it had a good reputation, and it had the support that I wanted. So not only do you have the sales support, I can't say enough about Travis. He's available when I want to talk to him, and he says, "Yeah, we can do this here. What can I do to help you?" So use the NSDs. But that residual income, Eric, I'll be honest with you, that was my dream. I only have
Yeah.
to sell it once. Sure, I got to service it, but a lot of these guys got to go out and keep selling product and product and product. All I do is build my income base. So
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that, is where Jerry is really going. We can preach this, we can say it. Maybe some people just need to hear it from somebody else because we've all done it. I've worn shoes out too, walking door to door to businesses. But if you leverage these, associations, Chamber of Commerce, business networking meetings, your current business network, and that's where the 1,000 contact list is huge. You may never cold call again, but it gets in your system, doesn't it, Jerry? Where you're looking at a shopping plaza differently. All of you should already be there.
Oh, I
You
agree.
should be there, right? You know, somebody is going to get paid for every card that's swiped through that business. Might as well be you. Somebody's going to. Why not you? And down here, Jerry is doing this action. You can go out and spend a week on your plan and making sure you've got everything, guys. But by the end of week 2, you should have some statements in. You should have some things in the works like Jerry's got, right, Jerry? So you've got, let them know how excited you are. You've got some future business. I just want to wheel back around on that where it wasn't a close. You've got some work to do.
Oh, that's totally correct. And I do pretty good with my Excel spreadsheet, Eric, but I'm looking forward to getting the CRM that you
Mm.
use, just so I can track everything, because I got follow-ups to do. And I think just another thing, Eric, just to digress a bit, I think I made 10 calls the first day, and I got 9 rejections.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tough, but that one will come through, and I'm just going to keep going and going. But I also look for that other place to go, and you hit on it, the network marketing. Your
Mm-hmm.
several of these clubs that are around, like Kiwanis and the ones like that. These are
Mm-hmm.
usually made up of business people that now you've got a better relationship with, and it's a lot easier to do business with people you know, but you still got to go after the ones you don't know. And I looked up in our little strip center, and there's 4 or 5 businesses, and one of them's one of these consignment places. And I got to tell you this story, Eric, because it is a riot. I actually sold my old car to this one, well, with the consignment shop. So I went in, and that was my lead in. Hi, Jennifer, how's your car going? Well, it broke down after you sold it to me. I said, oh, I'm sorry about that, because I'm really sorry. But anyway, I'm in here to talk to you about something else. And she actually had just gotten in a box her new POS from a credit card merchant servicing company. And she says, Jerry, come back and see me in 6 months because I don't know how this is going to go. But I thought, what in her and when she said, no, it broke down, I thought, oh boy, I'm shot here. But I got a place to call back on.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a funny story. I thought you might enjoy that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, no, that's outstanding, and that is something to hit on here. And yeah, John Murphy, just to get to some comments now, guys. His Mr. Murphy's wife is a realtor, and Jerry's absolutely right about the residual income because guys, the economy is just like the stock market. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. We're going to have, golden era. We're going to have, whoa, this is tough. And, with the media that we can have access to now, your television set's on your cell phone. And merchants, they're going to need to cut corners. Those guys that were saying 3%, that's not a big deal, 5%'s not a big deal, keep them in your mind. If you get merchant statements, and again, guys, if we have something that's real tight like that, where they already have a pretty good deal, right, Jerry? You should be
Yes.
winning. You should be winning those too. Do you know why? You're part of the equation. Well, so you're currently with your, whoever merchant that is. It could be a big company located over in New York, right? Or your bank, who you don't even know who your contact is because banks outsource their merchant processing anyway. I'm a customer. Jerry is a customer. He's interacting where he's not even changing his routine necessarily on a daily basis. That's where he goes and uses his card. We had a regional account manager in Virginia that would actually, on a one of his business cards that didn't have a chip in it yet, debit card, actually scratched the magnetic tape on the back, the strip, so he knew it wouldn't work so he could have a conversation. So she'd have to actually type it in. Is that genius or what? That's the same guy that if he had a good conversation with either a manager or the decision maker or the owner, when he had a stack of business cards in one pocket and then he had some business cards in the other with a lottery ticket on it. And he said he got his follow-up meeting. All right, well then let's meet next week. What works for you when you're not busy at your business, and then put a lottery ticket on the business card and say, we'll see how we split that up next week. And that's something where Jerry didn't even need business cards, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that, but I'll be getting those dollar tickets.
Yeah, 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 you might as well, right? And you never know, right? You may hit one. You got to play to win, right?
That's right.
And then, yeah, we've got another gentleman on here, John Landers, and again, this is a great way in an area where you can indirectly, most of the networking groups directly are there to refer people to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
guys, remember, your business, and Jerry's got this down, real estate, you've got to pre-qualify. Real estate, you've got to, do you have a good credit score, down payment, etc. Here, if you take Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, you need to talk to me. That's a whole lot of prospects. Here's an indirect way to do it, and John is pointing this out. Landers, thank you very much, because I'm a big fan of meetup.com. Hiking groups, surf groups, cooking groups. These are indirect, and guess what you're doing when you're talking to people? What do you do? And remember, your training now, where the 7 keys to success, ask them about their business. Get people talking about themselves, and then they've got it obligated to talk about you. So this is another way. Jerry, what are you doing other than the associations, or are you just kind of right now picking that out in your game plan?
Well, actually, Eric, I work off that 1,000 name list. I look at businesses that I have in my area that even though I don't have a relationship with, they have a need for the services. And the
Yeah.
tools we have are phenomenal. So I go after those. I don't just sit and say, hey, I'm going to wait till this one kicks in. I want others. I had yesterday, Eric, here's another good one. I had lunch with, it's an old friend from my airline days, and she's an artist. And they've got a big art festival going on next month. And I said, well, Laura, who does your merchant processing? Well, I don't know. And I said, well, let's find out. So I'm getting a statement from her, but then also I'm thinking about there's others 35 artists in here. So if she has a need for that, these people do too. So it's just another source, and I plan to go to this fair and meet all these girls and guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just look for opportunities, Eric, best I can, and I think it's the thing. It's just you got to dedicate yourself to it to have a plan. But the main thing, get out there and do it. It's not going to just walk in the door.
Yep, guys, yeah, and take that to heart. Jerry is telling you what he's doing, but I can tell by his voice he's excited about the product and residual income. Why you guys are here. It's not going to come to your front door. You're not gonna, put a website up and hopes everybody hits it, and you work your way up the chain on Google, whatever, so you're the first website to get hit. That's not how this thing works. So it's an individual thing. He's working associations, but what's going to happen is those are still going to be one-on-one conversations.
That's
Correct?
correct.
Yeah. So he gets that. And trade shows, you're going to see a lot of home and garden shows. You're going to see some things, and just be aware of where you're at. You never know when you're going to meet the next person, and again, don't judge that book by its cover. You never know who the guy is that owns 13 locations, and things like that in your area. And that's something that, again, point out the fact that you're not necessarily cold calling all the time right out of the gate if you do this right. Okay,
Hmm.
you can get referrals from a referral, and in your real estate days, that's they had many trainings, and your, oh, what do you call it, uh, they would have speakers come in, I know, for real estate agents with your mortgage guys, and the title companies are big at this. Title companies are who bring in these speakers and get you going and things like that. But you can take a lot of what's online, and if you just apply it, have that action, have a little urgency. We pay you regardless of your monthly production, but so you have no quota. Maybe give yourself a quota. Put one on yourself. Give yourself a little pressure there. It's good. It's good for you. You don't have to have gray hair like I do, where you're in here and it's 100 miles an hour every second of the day. This is your business, though, and we outfit you fairly well, right, Dr. Watson? I mean, you've received most of your stuff right now, correct?
I have.
Okay, and Copilot should be coming. Once you guys get statements in, then we go ahead and get your credentials through Card Connect for Copilot. So that is coming as well. And then let me check the time. It's right at 9:30. Do you have a second, Dr. Watson, to go through just some questions here online? Looks like we've got some specific towards PayPal and some things like that. Make sure that you are, we're definitely cheaper than Square and PayPal. Contact Ms. Tatum, contact your national sales director. That's a bigger answer than what we want to do today on the Testimonial Friday, okay? But that's a good one. Make sure you're doing that. You should be able to really get through that. Let me see. Yeah, and John Landers, hopefully you're feeling better. My goodness, gentleman had an issue there. So let me get pulled down here. And again, Dr. Watson, thank you very much. Meet Ron Thompson's meeting car dealerships. Those are great. Next week at multiple locations, one account or three. So the answer to that is, if they've got multiple locations, you're going to have a different merchant ID number for those car dealerships. So they get separate billing. Okay, think of it this way. If you want to know what Honda's doing versus Nissan, your dealerships, you're going to have two accounts, and that's how you set that up in Copilot. And Ron, make sure you're contacting your national sales director. They'll help you out on the paperwork side, right? Dr. Watson, I know that Travis does a great job with you regarding the Copilot and getting your stuff in. How does, right now I know the answer to this, but how does this work with you? Do you put in anything yet, or are you just sending the statements to Travis and he's emailing you those proposals?
I sent them to Travis.
Yep. So guys, leverage those. So what happens? What do I do? Be confident in the fact that you've got somebody as your personal assistant all the way through this process, especially at the beginning. We want to bird dog your first 4 to 7 deals anyway. I want to make sure before they go to underwriting, they're all good and we're getting all the information. And we actually have a nice outline that if you simply go down a checklist, your paperwork's going to be awesome. Your paperwork will be dead on. A new application checklist. It's found on your resources tab right in your training website at merchantcareers.com. Let me get that pulled up for you. So don't worry about that. But and believe me, at a certain point, you're going to be doing your paperwork. You're going to be doing all this. So right here it is, third from the top under applications. Everybody should have this with you at all times. Okay, and it is found online. So if you have internet, you can get to it. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, go get them, buddy. Go get them. And a festival. Yeah, John Murphy, Jerry just reminded you. This town's having a street festival, and you're going to see a lot of those at the end of the summer, right? Those end of the summer festivals. I know back in home in West Virginia, there's a strawberry festivals and folk festivals and all kinds of stuff. And you're going to get some folks out there that have brick and mortar business, but they're going to wheel in and have a booth. So again, you know, you're out there, you're, oh, I love your business. I am a customer of your business, right, Jerry? I mean, that sounds to me like you're farming that as well up in the high country there.
It's working. That's the main thing, Eric.
Yeah, yeah, just get it up there. All right, guys. Well, listen, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Jerry, thank you so much for being here today. Dr. Watson, and getting us, you know, situated for those of you, especially just starting, that you don't need to wait around. You know, we kind of we're getting a little more aggressive with our training on this end of it, and it's really paying off because we're starting to see a lot of proposals come in. So don't miss that boat, guys. If you are starting your own business, you're a regional account manager, own your area. I know Dr. Watson's going to own, you know, his backyard. I know that he's already got his 800 link message done, and Jerry, we're going to review that today. Okay, I got you on there. I remember your name in there. Great message. So he's got a local number in his area, so his mobile number is not being exposed out there. So this is some really good info that you guys received an email on earlier in the week. So make sure that if that's something you want to do, make sure you do that. But again, do you want to finish with anything, Jerry, before we stop the recording?
I just want to thank you for this flattering picture that you put up on the screen, Eric. I'm glad we are Skyping, so it's not too contradictory.
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, I appreciate your time today, everyone else's time. We had a nice attendance today, and take something from this. You know, take what you're taking from this is you've got a gentleman who went out there and is making it happen, who started last week. He's got 4 proposals in. He has a couple big whales, as he mentioned, big things in the works, but he knows that's going to take time. It's going to take more contacts. So what do I do? Do I wait and dream that that's going to go through? It may not. You know, it may not work out. So in the meantime, act like it's not even there. You know, follow up on it, but throughout your day, set the goal on Monday, hit the goal by Friday, Saturday, and have a nice Sunday. Take it off. So Eric Rogers here with Dr. Watson, and a great Friday presentation. This is going to be posted later today on the web, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere that we can put this thing, that we've got social media sites, okay? So again, Dr. Watson, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Eric.
You got it.